This is a message to all the speakers out there trying to build a speaking business.
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
To build a speaking business, you have to commit first before you know the end result. I remember watching a video with Marc Andreseen, or however you say his name. He invested in Facebook, and he's a big-time VC guy. But I remember watching the video, and they asked him, "What do you look for in entrepreneurs? Like, what are the successful entrepreneurs, and what are the other guys that you guys get rid of?" And he said he looks for courage, and what he meant by courage is absolutely determined to succeed. Absolutely determined. When you're in this state of mind, you don't make excuses. Nothing that gets in your way is really an obstacle. You kind of just push it out your way. You go around it. When you are absolutely determined, that's when you make things happen. If you don't know how to do something, you learn it. That's why it amazes me when someone says, "I don't know how to build a website, and I can't hire someone to do it for me." If you were absolutely determined, you would figure it out. You would just figure it out. And those are the kind of people, those are the speakers, those are just the entrepreneurs who build businesses. People who are absolutely determined to make it happen. Speakers want to know, how do I get gigs? I mean, how do I get on stages? How do I get more gigs? And I constantly tell them, here's how you find gigs, and here's the emails you send, and here's the systems you set up. And what amazes me is when speakers don't do it. And I realize the reason why some speakers do it and most don't is because the very few that do it are 100% committed to making this happen. And everyone else, they kind of just see it as a dream. It's just something that they think about doing, something that they would like to do, but it's not really a commitment yet. It's just a dream. It's just wishful thinking at this point. I realize that you get gigs when you fully commit. Let's say you want to build an inbound sequence to get gigs. When you fully commit to making videos, what do? You all of a sudden get up every single day and you commit to making the videos. No matter what happens, whether you feel like doing it or not, you get up because you are fully committed to making the videos. And that's just what happens. When you fully commit to doing something, you get it done. And you don't know if someone's going to contact you. You don't know if you're going to get hired. When you send out an email to someone to see if you can speak, you don't know if that person's going to reply. You don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know anything. But you're fully committed. So it doesn't matter if that person replies because you're on to the next person. It doesn't matter if that person replies because you're on to the next one. So you're willing to send out 100 emails a day and have no replies because you know tomorrow you're going to send out another 100. And eventually someone's going to reply. Someone's going to hit you up. Someone's going to be like, "Yeah, we want to hire you." When you're fully committed, you are committed to the actions you're taking despite not knowing the results that are going to happen. You understand in the long run the results are going to happen, but you don't know if they're going to happen tomorrow or the next day or next week. You just know they're going to happen. In order to make it work out, you have to already have made the decision to make it work, and then your mind's going to figure it out. So if you want to make things happen in your business, you have to fully commit to it first, then your mind is going to figure it out later. If you're not committed, what happens is you hesitate. So you kind of have this 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and you hesitate. So it's like, oh, okay, I sent out 3 emails today, and no one replied, and okay, well, maybe another time. And so you hesitate, and you don't fully commit to actually doing it, to making things happen, and you don't build momentum because you're moving too slow. Even someone as great as Elon Musk, he fully committed without knowing the end result. There's this, if you read his biography, he talks about it to where he made $180 million from the sale of PayPal. So he got $180 million after he sold PayPal. He took $100 million of that money, put it into SpaceX. He took $70 million, put it into Tesla, and $10 million into Solar City. He had no money. He had to actually borrow money to make his rent. A guy who just made 9 figures off of selling PayPal had to borrow money to make rent. That's what you call commitment. He was committed to making this thing happen Even though if you actually ask him, and you'll see this in interviews, he says, I went into all these fields and I wasn't sure it was going to happen. In fact, I was pretty sure it was going to fail. So you go into something not knowing whether or not it's actually going to produce a result, but you do it because you're fully committed. You're aware of the results that can happen if it does work, but you're not completely sure if it's going to work. You're just fully committed to making this happen. If it doesn't work, if what you're doing isn't working, you adjust. And if that's not working, you adjust. And you keep adjusting until it happens. 50 Cent has this thing of get rich or die trying. That's the mindset that you have. If you're 10 years old and you're like, I want to be a speaker, and you just keep working nonstop, and then you're all of a sudden 30 years old, it's not working. You're 40 years old, it's not working. 50 years old, it's not working. 60 years, not working. 90 years old, it's not working. You're 100 years old, you're on your deathbed, and you're still trying to make a video. And here's how you're just going to get rich or you're going to die trying. I mean, there is no stopping because you're fully committed to making it happen. So when a speaker thinks in terms of, oh, if I do this, will I definitely get gigs? I mean, will I for sure get gigs? You never know for sure of anything. But in order to get it, you have to fully commit first. It's not, oh, I'm going to try this out, and then if I get gigs, then I'm going to go full force. That's not how it works. It's the opposite. You go full force and then you get gigs. It's not, oh, I might get gigs and I'll go full force. That's not how you do it. You have to commit to something first and then you increase the odds of making it happen. But if you don't commit to something, then you're guaranteed to fail at it. You just have to be relentless.